how the most dangerous player on the planet became invisible to scouts. Despite only having arrived in Portugal in August, the 25-year-old Swede's name has already been heavily associated with moves to some of Europe's elite, and he is worthy of it. Gyokeres is best described as a chaotic player who enjoys transitions in his attack. Let's witness the rise, the fall, and the redemption of Viktor Gyokeres. Viktor Gyokeres of Sporting is one of many deserving candidates for the title of greatest summer signing of 2023. The Swedish striker not only led Coventry City to the edge of a Premier League spot, but also joined the Lions for a club record €20 million with €4 million in bonuses. He has not wasted any time adjusting to life. Viktor's contract will last till 2028, and it has a release clause at €100 million. It is likely that Gyokeres will break their club record of selling a player for €55 million plus bonuses. He is a revelation in Sporting's attack. A clinical finisher with excellent mobility, link-up play, and physicality. As a football player, Viktor Gyokeres is simply phenomenal. With Pet, Di Maria, Hulk, Felix, Bruno, Enzo, and pretty much an endless supply of outrageous talent over the past 15 years, the Portuguese league has produced some of the most fascinating players around, perhaps Gyokeres most of all. He has played in 31 games, scoring 28 goals and giving out 11 assists. Since joining the team, he has been crowned the league's best player each month. You can get the hint of his glory from the fact that people are discussing him as the future Ibrahimovic in Sweden. There's no stopping the newspaper's praise for his Ronaldo-like qualities. The crazy part is that despite his incredible feats, he never seems to get hurt. He might just be the most intimidating player in this league. It's not just his physical appearance that appeals to the fans, but also the way he tackles center back and possesses incredible foot speed and dexterity. He is a player that can generate more opportunities than the best playmakers in the league, score more goals than the best target men, and compete in 1v1, often even 1v2, situations, and outplay the best wingers available. Some call him a transition demon, and it is not an exaggeration. He is the Frankenstein of football. It becomes increasingly possible every minute that someone will activate his $100 million release clause. He is capable of generating opportunities for himself by his mobility, whether he is racing in behind, making last-second changes to break away from his defender, or bullying the center backs in ground and aerial duels. He is also adept at bringing others into action through his strong hold-up play. He runs the channels to create space in central areas and is also excellent at driving down the line in transition before delivering a cross into the box, as well as dropping deep to create opportunities for teammates by moving the ball out to the flanks before charging into the box. Gyokeres, a serious striker, is well suited to the task of driving his laces through the ball and producing enough force to score the winning goal. With the speed to go in behind and the toughness and aerial skills to help defend corner attacks, he is a true attacker who has flourished as a lone striker or in a two-striker setup. At Albion, he was a hybrid winger-forward role, and many aspects of his game from that time are still evident in his play style now. This is also arguably a weakness of his, as he is not an exceptional box forward, nor is he a world-class winger driving at a fullback. How in the world did this guy reach the age of 25 while playing in front of all the greatest players in Premier League history and still walk off without anyone paying attention? It is true that Brighton did make a huge mistake. Graham Potter played a number of players in September 2020 who would not have had much of an opportunity to play otherwise, including 23-year-old Viktor Gyokeres. After less than 10 games, he one day scores his first goal for Brighton along with his first assist. Alexis Mac Allister was another player who scored his first goal. However, Mac Allister's goal earned him a call-up for the subsequent League Cup game. From there, he gradually made his way into the starting lineup, eventually gaining leadership of the squad and being sent to Liverpool for a huge sum of money in just 3 years. Reaction given to Gyokeres was completely different. After just 2 weeks, he was loaned away and would never play for this club ever again. He didn't even get the chance to step foot in a Premier League. Why? What did Alexis have that Viktor did not? The ugly truth is that their backgrounds ultimately determined their fate despite having equal ability. Mac Allister was performing admirably at Boca Juniors already. Many of their finest players actually come directly from elite teams like Chelsea, United, and Arsenal. But Gyokeres? He came from nowhere. Before that, Brahmapokarna scouted him when he was 15 years old, and it isn't worthy of being called a transfer. They were the weakest teams in the Swedish league. Imagine a team with only 12 points from 30 games. More than twice as many points were scored by even the second worst club. This is what kept Viktor away from the spotlight. Viktor led his team back to the top. After completing his first full season with 7 goals in 11 games, he was called up to the Swedish under-19 national team, where he made an immediate impression by scoring against Italy to secure their place in the Euros. Before you knew it, he was the star of his hometown team, contributing 13 goals in 14 league games to open the season. He then went to the Euros and blew everyone's mind. He finished as the top scorer, scoring a goal in each of his games. If you don't believe Gyokeres was the one who brought Brahmapokarna to spotlight, practically immediately after his departure, the club was relegated twice in a row. Gyokeres did not receive the care he deserved at Brighton. He was sent immediately to the under-23 team. He led them to promotion by scoring 11 goals in his first 12 games for them, demonstrating his consistency. Brighton was still unable to determine what position was ideal for him. After a whole year at the club's academy, he was alternating between playing on the wing and as a striker. Soon Chris Hutton was replaced, and the team's gaming style changed. The new opinion was that Gyokeres should be loaned out. He was sent to the German second tier, and as expected, he performed magnificently. It was frustrating because when he returned, it still felt like there was no place for him. Other players were given a shot, but Gyokeres was loaned out to Swansea, where he hit rock bottom. Right after hitting the lowest part in his career came a miracle, which Viktor deserved. The miracle was Coventry City. All they needed was someone scoring the goals for them. They offered Brighton €1 million for his permanent signing, after 2.5 years of waiting for his skill to emerge. After that, over a 5-month period, Gyokeres developed a tight friendship with Coventry manager Mark Robins, who had previously played as a striker for Manchester United and Manchester City, and it immediately clicked for him. Robins saw Gyokeres' potential for the chaos inside him, which Gyokeres appreciated. From that point on, he bloomed. He scored 11 goals in 11 matches, and the moment Zlatan had to leave because of injury, he took his place in spotlight. By the end of the season, he stole the hearts of the fans with his clutches and 21 goals. But wherever there are fans, there are always haters who claim that Viktor was just a one-season wonder. But Viktor used his enemies' words and strength, and worked hard to prove them wrong the next season. He made sure that no one would utter those words again. Coventry was sitting in 11th position, and they needed a miracle to help them make it to promotion playoffs. Meanwhile, Viktor was improving with Godspeed, from 1 goal to 2 to double. He came to his team's rescue and scored 15 goals in 15 matches in a course of 2 months. Coventry was able to secure 5th position, which was highest since their relegation 22 years ago. All thanks to Viktor, to whom belonged the decisive goals. He may not have gotten the Player of the Season award, but as the newspapers show, he was already a winner in everyone's eyes. With 12 assists and 21 goals, he ranked first and second in the championship, respectively. With only 1 year left on his contract, a transfer seemed inevitable. Sporting CP showed up. They offered a club record of €20 million for his signature. The offer included $4 million in incentives and a 5% profit share if he is sold. Essentially, Sporting believed that Viktor was phenomenal and was ready to capitalize on it. He scored 2 goals in his league debut, and again on his Europa League debut. In his League Cup debut, he scored 3 goals, and in his Portuguese Cup debut, he also scored as well as assisted. According to one article, Gyokeres' most alarming characteristic is his insatiable appetite. He destroys all opponents and treats everyone equally.